What happens when confidence meets queerness in the most magnetic way possible? This week, we're spotlighting 5 young gay stars from the Philippines who are not only changing how the country sees queerness, they're owning it, flaunting it, and turning every camera their way. From viral performances to quiet moments of courage, these Gen Z icons are reshaping what it means to be young, bold, and proudly gay in modern Filipino pop culture. Some are already out and loud. Others, well, fans have been speculating for years, and the clues are only getting juicier. They dance, they act, they post thirst traps, they speak up. And number 3, let's just say, he's breaking the internet one flirty smile at a time. Stay tuned till the very end and tell us who's the most iconic to you. Drop their number in the comments and let us know where you're watching from. Let's get into it. Allen Cecilio, the boy band cutie who's making queer fans swoon. Allen Cecilio didn't win Pinoy boy band superstar, but somehow he walked away with something even bigger, a fan base that's been obsessed with his every move ever since. Back in 2016, he was that wide-eyed 17-year-old who stepped onto the stage with a smile that could melt concrete. The moment he sang, the girls screamed. But quietly, so did the queer community, because Allen wasn't just adorable. He was giving soft boy realness, smooth vocals, and a confidence that felt different. Fast forward to today, and Allen has transformed from reality show hopeful to a rising queer-coded pop presence. Though he hasn't publicly come out, fans online have made him a constant subject of speculation and admiration. Why? Because his online presence is a perfect mix of flirtatious charm, gender-bending aesthetics, and boy-next-door energy that feels unmistakably queer-friendly. Just scroll through his Instagram. Crop tops, painted nails, poses with perfect lighting, and captions that read like Tumblr poetry. One photo of him in a pastel pink silk shirt with the caption, "Soft but strong," got over 25,000 likes and a flood of heart emojis from queer fans. "He's not hiding anything," one fan tweeted. "He's just living, and it's beautiful." In a country like the Philippines, where masculinity is often hyper-policed in entertainment, Allen stands out. He's not loud about labels, but his style and vibe make a statement louder than words. He dances with fluidity, performs with softness, and posts selfies that say, "I know who I am, and I'm cool with you wondering." What makes Allen even more special is his relationship with his fans. He regularly responds to queer followers with kindness and humor. In one TikTok duet with a fan who jokingly asked, "Are you my gay awakening?" Allen simply winked and wrote, "Maybe." Recently, he's been performing at more LGBTQ+ aligned events and collaborating with queer-friendly artists. That's not just coincidence. That's alignment. And while he may not be giving interviews about sexuality, his support speaks volumes. Behind the soft smile is someone who clearly knows the power of visibility, even if it's subtle. And for thousands of young queer Filipinos, Allen represents something rare, a celebrity who might not wave a rainbow flag, but who doesn't run from the colors either. So is Allen Cecilio gay? No one can say for sure. But what's undeniable is his impact. He's turning the quiet power of maybe into a movement. And in 2025, that might just be the most radical thing of all. Drop a 1 if Allen Cecilio gives you life, confidence, or just a reason to smile today. Jameson Blake, the golden boy with a mystery that won't quit. Jameson Blake is the kind of guy who seems too perfect to be real. Boy next door face, clean-cut charm, and that quiet intensity that just begs you to lean in closer. But lately, Fans aren't just crushing, they're curious. Because behind that golden boy image is a rising star wrapped in whispers, thirst, and a whole lot of queer speculation. The 26-year-old Filipino-American actor shot to fame as part of Hashtags, the all-male dance group on It's Showtime, and quickly transitioned into acting. On paper, he's your typical leading man. Good looks, commercial appeal, and a knack for romantic roles. But off-screen, Jameson's vibe is more queer-coded heartthrob than macho idol. And fans have definitely noticed. Let's talk receipts. From suggestive captions on shirtless selfies, "Don't zoom too close," or "do," to his consistent soft boy aesthetic, painted nails, and love of fashion-forward fits, Jameson doesn't shy away from things that blur gender lines. And while many of his posts are classic influencer content, it's the subtle details, his choice of emojis, music, poses, that have turned his Instagram into a full-blown queer fan haven. Then came the TikToks. One duet with a male fan lip-syncing to Troye Sivan's "One of Your Girls" went viral. Jameson didn't say a word, but the eye contact, the smirk, the gentle nod, it spoke volumes. The comments were flooded with, "Jameson? And wait, is this an intentional soft launch or..." But here's where it gets even more interesting. Jameson has never confirmed anything about his sexuality, yet never pushes back against the queer attention either. In interviews, he avoids labels. When asked about love, he focuses on emotional connection, not gender. One memorable moment? In a 2023 Q&A, when asked, "What kind of person do you fall for?" he smiled and replied, "Someone who surprises me." That mystery is exactly what draws people in. He isn't shouting anything from the rooftops, but he's not locking the door either. And his acting roles, even they seem to flirt with the line. In several indie films, Jameson has played emotionally vulnerable men who resist traditional masculinity. Directors love working with him, saying he brings intimacy and duality to every scene. Translation, he gets it, and audiences feel it. At the heart of all this buzz isn't just whether or not Jameson Blake is gay. It's that he represents a new kind of Filipino celebrity, one who doesn't need to define, deny, or declare anything to be magnetic to queer fans. He's comfortable living in the gray space and in a culture still obsessed with black and white answers that feels revolutionary. Drop a 2 if Jameson Blake's energy makes you question everything in the best way possible. Best. Miggy Jimenez, Gen Z's boy wonder with nothing to prove. If you've been paying attention to Gen Z Filipino stars lately, there's one name that keeps bubbling up in fan circles. And queer Twitter, Miggy Jimenez. He's not the loudest, he's not the flashiest, but somehow he's always there, lingering in your feed, stealing your attention with one casual smirk or scene-stealing moment. And now, he's quickly becoming a quiet icon of queer-coded cool. Born in 2002, Miggy rose to fame as part of the breakout teen series Dead Kids on Netflix, a dark coming-of-age story that instantly positioned him as more than just another pretty face. From the jump, he played layered characters with just enough mystery to make fans start whispering, "Wait, is he just acting, or is there something else going on here?" Miggy's appeal is all about energy, soft but confident, chill but precise, almost like he's always in on a secret you don't know yet. And fans, they eat it up. From his unbothered but beautiful Instagram posts to interviews where he speaks openly about mental health, gender roles, and being emotionally expressive, Miggy's presence feels authentic in a way that's rare in young male Filipino celebs. And then there are the looks. Miggy doesn't go for the overly masculine mold. He plays with androgyny. Cropped tees, chunky jewelry, painted nails, flowy fabrics, always styled, never forced. At a Gen Z fashion event last year, he wore high-waisted slacks and a sheer embroidered blouse with no undershirt, and pulled it off like it was just another Tuesday. The moment that really stirred the internet? A behind-the-scenes clip from a magazine shoot where Miggy poses delicately with a male model, exchanging glances that were way too natural to be purely professional. No context, no explanation, just vibes. Fans flooded the comments with, "Soft launch? Queer-coded Prince energy, I'm obsessed." Is this a signal? And just like that, Miggy went from young actor to watch to possible gay icon in the making. What's wild is he's never publicly addressed his sexuality. And maybe that's the point. In a culture where coming out is still seen as a headline, Miggy's silence speaks louder than most declarations. He doesn't need to say anything, because his choices say enough. The roles he plays, the way he dresses, the way he makes space for emotional intimacy in interviews and on screen. He's part of a growing wave of young stars redefining masculinity in the Philippines, not through rebellion, but through redefinition. It's not about shocking anyone. It's about not apologizing for softness, for sensuality, for style. Drop a 3 if Miggy just unlocked your new favorite Gen Z obsession. Benedix Ramos, from reality TV crush to queer Gen Z fantasy. In the age of viral TikToks and overnight stardom, few young Filipino stars have flipped the narrative like Benedix Ramos. What started as a simple entry into the world of Pinoy Big Brother turned into a full-on queer awakening for both him and his fans. Benedix didn't just enter the Pinoy Big Brother Community Season 10 house. He walked in with quiet charm, effortless humor, and a presence that felt, let's be honest, a little too magnetic to ignore. While others were playing the game, Benedix seemed like he was just being, and that vulnerability, it hit differently. What quickly set him apart wasn't just the fact that he was openly gay on one of the biggest national platforms in the country. It was the way he carried that truth. No dramatic backstory, no teary confessional, just a calm, confident acknowledgement that said, "Yeah, I'm gay. What else do you want to talk about?" And that kind of energy, it's rare and powerful. Benedix represented something that mainstream Pinoy entertainment desperately needed. A young, proudly gay man who didn't fall into tired stereotypes. He wasn't the flamboyant comic relief. He wasn't the tragic sidekick. He was just him. Cute, curious, confident, and totally boyfriend material. After his PBB stint, Benedix leaned into authenticity even harder. He became a TikTok favorite, posting thirst trap dances and soft boy selfies that sent queer fans into a frenzy. His bio? Boyfriend material. The comments? You are the material. And when fans started pairing him with other male housemates, he didn't panic or deflect. He leaned in, played along, and showed that flirting doesn't have to be straight to be fun. His online presence became a safe space for fluid, fearless queerness, and he made it sexy, funny, and deeply relatable. Whether he's joking about dating struggles, hyping his skincare routine, or showing off his latest outfit, always a mix of masculine cuts and soft fabrics, Benedix is crafting a new kind of queer stardom in the Philippines, one that doesn't rely on old formulas. And let's not forget, this boy can act. Since PBB, Benedix has dipped his toes into indie films and queer web series, often playing roles that mirror his own experience. Young gay men navigating identity, romance, and self-worth in a society still catching up. He brings nuance, depth, and a natural screen presence that makes it really hard to look away. Fans have called him the soft launch of a queer rom-com lead, and honestly, they might be right. Because sometimes revolution doesn't come loud. Sometimes it looks like a soft smile, a messy TikTok dance, and a boy who knows he's already enough. Drop a 4 if Benedix just became your new internet crush. Ian Pangilinan, the soft-spoken heartthrob who redefined BL romance. In the world of BL, boys love dramas, certain stars don't just play roles, they define eras. And for the Philippines, that game-changer was Ian Pangilinan. Before the fame, Ian was a theater boy, polished, classically trained, and quietly intense. But it wasn't until 2020's breakout hit Gaya Sa Pelikula, like in the movies, that everything changed. With just one show, Ian didn't just enter the queer entertainment scene, he broke it wide open. As Carl, the emotionally guarded architecture student with walls made of trauma and tenderness, Ian gave one of the most nuanced portrayals of a queer character on Filipino screens to date. The chemistry with co-star Pangalinan was electric, but it was Ian's quiet unraveling, the way he let vulnerability crack through stoicism, that truly stole hearts. Suddenly, he wasn't just a theater actor. He was a queer Gen Z icon, TikTok edits, fanfics, and think pieces included. But here's what makes Ian different. He didn't capitalize on the role. He honored it. In every interview, every panel, every post, Ian spoke with intention. He wasn't trying to play gay for fame. He was using his platform to hold space, for fans, for community, and for the conversations that matter. He once said, "To love someone on screen, especially in a queer story, is to hold their truth in your hands." That's sacred. That quote, it went viral. While Ian hasn't publicly labeled his sexuality, his openness to queer storytelling, his genuine chemistry with male co-stars, and his vocal support for LGBTQ+ issues have made him a safe space in Filipino entertainment. In a culture still wrestling with masculinity and queerness, Ian Pangilinan feels like a gentle rebellion wrapped in talent and soft boy charm. Off-screen, he's the internet's favorite artsy boyfriend. He sings beautifully, plays multiple instruments, shares poetry on Instagram, and posts lo-fi aesthetic pics that scream romantic intellectual with a hint of chaos. His fans? Obsessed. And yes, we need to talk about his style. Clean silhouettes, oversized shirts, soft fabrics, and the occasional painted nail. Every fit says, "I'm not here to impress the boys' club, I'm here to express." Recently, Ian has continued to choose indie, queer-forward projects over mainstream blockbusters. It's intentional. He said he'd rather do work that moves people than chase roles that mute who he is, because sometimes the boldest moves don't come with noise. Sometimes they come with quiet power. And a boy who tells stories that make people feel seen. Drop a 5 if Ian's softness just hit you in all the right places. From viral thirst traps to tear-jerking roles, these 5 young stars are doing more than just breaking boundaries. They're building a new standard for what it means to be young, queer, and unstoppable in Filipino pop culture. They're showing us that visibility doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. That soft masculinity, vulnerability, and authenticity are the new sexy. And that the future of queer stardom in the Philippines? It's brighter, braver, and hotter than ever. Now it's your turn. Which one of these rising stars stole your heart today? Drop their number in the comments and let us know why they're your favorite. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss another queer spotlight.